I believe this machine behind me here with the two faucets is a hot water dispenser specifically used for tea in the park. And I've seen these in Asia before. Almost every restaurant will give you free hot water, assuming you bring your own tea packets or tea that you want to make yourself in the restaurant. So it's sort of provided like a public service, very similar to water fountains in the United States. But here's one just right outside of this park. It's pretty interesting, and I think it's a great idea, especially for a culture that's based so strongly around tea. After lunch, and I just came back to my hostel here. I'm packing up. Today I'm heading from Tirana in Albania over to another city, headed to Prizren in Kosovo. So this will be a first time for me to visit that area. I'm looking forward to it. Should be about a 4-hour bus trip, hopefully. I've been wrong before. And then I'll be there probably about 7 o'clock in the evening and get into my hostel. Probably won't have a lot to see for today other than the bus trip going there, but should be an interesting experience. I'm packed up. I'm heading out of my hostel. I've got to walk to a small travel agency to buy my bus ticket, and then about a 4-hour bus ride from 3 until approximately 7 this evening, and should arrive in Kosovo. So that's the plan. Hopefully it'll go smoothly. So in order to buy my bus ticket today to Kosovo, I have to walk from the square over here to this construction site, behind it into this building, and find a travel agency called Tirana Metropole. And then I can buy my ticket there for 10 euros, which is 1400 lek, and then I should be good to go, and I've got to walk about a half a block to where the bus picks me up. So anyway, that's the plan as explained by the people at my hostel. Okay, I have my ticket. This bus?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And apparently my bus is here. I should be able to get on it right now. This bus here. So this is my bus. Should be about a 4-hour bus ride approximately. Have the slight issue of legroom again today on these seats. Can't get my legs in around the seat. I asked to sit up front and they told me not possible. Found a solution by sitting back by the back door with the partition in front of me. Gives me an extra little bit of distance. It's better. We've stopped for about a 10-minute break, stretch our legs, toilet, then back on the road, hopefully arriving sometime between 7 and 8 o'clock tonight. My bus is over here in the background, and I noticed the opposite side, up on the hill over here, an abandoned building. I've seen a lot of abandoned buildings as we've been traveling on this trip, and this looks fairly large. I don't think it's under construction. I think it's an older structure, maybe 20, 30 years old, something like that. And then, of course, there's this amazing lake over here. We just crossed over a bridge probably 10 minutes ago, for, I think, near the dam for the reservoir. I think this is a man-made reservoir. One of the things I try to do as I travel from one country to a new country where they both have different currencies is to spend all of the currency I have in one country before going to the new one, and then go to the ATM and withdraw in the new currency. That way I don't have to do any exchanges. So I planned very carefully this time so that as leaving from Albania, I had just enough lek to be able to pay my bill at the hostel this morning, to pay for my bus ticket and for my lunch. After all of that, I had about 170 lek left over. That's about $1.50. And just now, as we stopped in this little rest stop over here, I purchased a drink and a little plastic bag of some sort of nuts, peanuts or something like that, for exactly 170 lek. So I'm literally leaving the country with 0 of the local Albanian lek, and then we'll go into the new country and then purchase, or actually use my ATM card to pull out money in the new currency. We're almost to the Kosovo border. Handing back our passports now. We have to switch to a minibus for the last leg to go from the border into Prizren. Dropped off. I don't know where we are. Okay. So we're told the center is that direction. Both lost. It's Nathan, right?
Hi, yeah.
Nathan here. Forgot to write down the address and telephone number of his hostel. He has no idea where he's going except for the name of the hostel. And so his plan is to get Wi-Fi. And I have an address and a phone number and some basic directions, but we don't know really where we are in relation to these directions. So it's an interesting challenge. This is the adventures of travel. We've asked a couple people for directions, and Nathan's hostel is that direction. So we've separated. He's gone that way. I'm continuing up to this bridge that's just ahead of me, going to cross over, and then my hostel should be fairly close to a tour agency. So I've got to find this Vector Tours, and then my hostel is supposed to be located behind it. I've located the Vector Tours over here, so my hostel should be down this little alleyway and to the left. So I think I found it. Just have to manage to cross this road without getting hit on my last 2 minutes of my trek to my hostel. Probably would help if I went to the crosswalk down the way, but too far to go back. So I think my hostel is down here in this parking area. On my hostel. That's all I have for this episode. Remember, savor the moment, be happy, and pursue your passions. See you next episode. On the street here, just outside of my hostel, there seems to be like a flea market, sidewalk market thing that's set up where people are selling used electronics, shoes, almost anything that you would see at a garage sale you can find on the street just outside of my hostel. It's quite a fascinating system of selling things that you no longer need and making a profit.